Hey, how's it going, you guys? Welcome back to some more Chrono Clock. My whole family's been sick, so I haven't really recorded much in the past few days, and I haven't done this series in a week. I have a schedule for this. I'm aiming for Sundays and Wednesdays, so I'm going to be trying to upload 2 times a week for this series. That way I can get it through it in a decent amount of time, and hopefully once I stop getting sick and having family in town, I can stay on a more consistent schedule. But for now, um, I'm aiming for those 2 days. So hopefully, if you're seeing this on a Sunday, then I've succeeded in that. But yeah, my whole family's been sick. Not a good time. I haven't seen the sun in days mainly because it's just been like rainy and cloudy. But literally, the sun has not been out. Anyways, we're gonna jump back into this. We had kind of a date with Miu last episode, kind of a what was it, a pretend date, and then yeah, we're just going to continue on from here. We're having this conversation with him about him liking our sister. The next day. It was Saturday, so we were out of school, and Shuuji stopped by my house like he said he would. I came out in my pajamas and sandals to greet him at the front door. You know, you didn't have to use the intercom, you could have just waltzed in here, no problem. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that'd be kind of weird if someone just came in your house without, without announcing themselves. But you know, that's what best friends are for. We both headed to the annex without so much as a normal greeting. Shuuji was carrying a plastic bag, so I figured he must have brought a drink and snacks with him. After walking through the courtyard and into the annex building, Shuuji took in the sight of my room. Last time you were here, we had all of our friends come over to play games, right? Freaking, I wish I had friends to come over and play games with. Everything's just online nowadays. I don't need to, like, even see them in person anymore. Sometimes I have friends come over here to hang out since my parents never stopped by to bother me and the place is pointlessly huge for one person. Oh, that'd be so nice if my parents didn't stop by. I mean, it's just my mom because she lives, you know, 4 hours away, so she comes by often. But hey, once you're a parent, you don't say no to free babysitting, okay? Plus, most people generally stay away from this place because of its connection with the Sawatari name. What's so wrong with the Sawatari name? Are they, like, hated or something? With nothing more to be said, I took 2 cups out of the cupboard and put them down on the table. Shuuji silently followed suit, pouring the cola he'd brought with him into his own cup. Yeah, I've got the maids to do that for us. I'm just very meticulous about being a neat freak. True. I know, why would you not have an AC? Because they have those ACs that you can just put in a room, right? We should just put the chatter aside. I can tell you're nervous since you came to see me about Michiru, right? This guy. Shuuji took a swig of his poured cola. Shuuji breathed out a deep sigh. He really did seem quite nervous. Yeah, like we're helping him. We're helping Mia try to get with him, but he doesn't want to get with her. I remember that from last episode. That was so hilarious. Okay, I mean, that's smart. That's pretty wise to do, right? So you came here to make sure that Michiru is really the girl you're interested in, right? Oh, don't worry. I don't even have to call her. She's probably listening in right now. I just nodded. Shuji got straight to the point, as always. So how long have you liked Michiru? I wanted to make such a bad joke right there. I can't do it, though. That's too bad. So you fell in love at first sight, huh? Well, she couldn't do it, so you had to. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's so terrible to say. I think that's cute, though. I like that the best friend in this story actually, like, is a character. I feel like in a lot of other games, like, the best friend's just kind of this joking side character, and most of the time doesn't really get to do anything more than that. So I like that they're actually making him, like, fall in love with his sister and things like that. It brings more depth to the game when the side the side character like a best friend isn't just for jokes, right?
一応分かってると思うが、みちるを好きってやつはかなり多いぞ。
I actually don't think there's many characters in this game that are characters I would generally associate as side characters, right? Like, everybody feels really alive in this. Everyone feels like they have, like, good dialogue, and they have, like, motives behind why they do things. It's not just like, oh, I'm just here to make you laugh and then I'll leave, you know, in between, like, big things happening. I like this a lot. Shuuji is really cool because he's not your typical kind of best friend that's joking around and things like that. He's more serious and level-headed, and he's got things going on in his life, right? I really like that. And then you have some of our potential girls we're gonna be dating, hopefully soon. We're still in the prologue, so I'm not sure. I'm assuming prologue, and then maybe we're gonna jump into a route or a common route. I'm not sure. This is a pretty long prologue if it's not a common route, but we'll see. Oh, I definitely know. There are other cute girls at our school like Makoto and Miyu, and Michiru is in a completely different league. She's much more of a princess than a schoolgirl. Despite that, she definitely catches the eyes of other boys because of her long black hair and calm, mature personality. We're talking about our sister? Mature? Don't know about that one. Plus, despite her visual handicap, her wealth as a Sawataru would make any hypothetical partner of hers set for life. I feel like that's a terrible reason to look at somebody to date, but sure, that's honestly true. There's one other thing. I feel like I shouldn't be the one to tell you this, but Michiru kind of has the hots for me, even though we're siblings. Ew, why would you tell your friend that?
彼女がさんずいに惚れてるのは分かってるよ。ふざけた話だ。
Shuuji sounded a little disappointed. Like, Tar, not another freaking novel where the sister character likes her brother. Even he's disappointed. Guess I should call her. Could have just gone to the main house to see her, but I was in no mood to walk all the way over there, so I decided to phone her instead. Can you imagine having a house so big you have to, like, call people? Just because it would be too much of an inconvenience to walk all the way over there?
Hi, Michiru desu.
Michiru, it's me. Are you home right now?
Hi.
Wow, she's even so polite when she's answering our phone call.
すぐ行きます。
Oh, of course you will. Of course you will. She's like running down the hall. She just like can't see. She's just like. The line had already gone dead. She hung up on me. Put my phone away and Shuuji smiled knowingly.
変わってないな。
Couldn't change her if I wanted to. We heard approaching footsteps from the connecting hallway and the doors opened.
兄様のメス奴隷がやってまいりまし。
Yep. Ew! Stop! We're trying to have a serious conversation here. You were so polite on the phone. What happened? That was precisely the moment when Michiru's ears picked up on the fact that there was someone else besides me in the room.
どなたかに見られながらのプレイがご所望とは予想しておりませんでした。
Bro, I'm too sick for this. Please stop. Christ, that was awkward enough without your tacking on that last part.
邪魔してるよ。
石田先輩でしたか。お久しぶりです。あ、石田先輩。
What the? Where did you come from? What the heck? What? Miyu suddenly showed up, stepping into the room behind Michiru. Ah, both me and the other man in the room were completely befuddled. Miyu, what are you doing here?
最近、兄様とミユさんがよく会っているそうなので、どんな様子なのかお話ししていたんです。
Talk. She's probably getting ready to beat her up, tie her up. Michiru has been dragged. Michiru must have dragged Miyu back to the house to interrogate her. Wasn't a problem for her to be here too, but I haven't been ready for her to show up out of nowhere. Yeah, this went absolutely wrong so fast. Took my pocket watch and smashed it against the tabletop. Oh, thank goodness we're getting out of this. I feel like that's bad. We might need that later. Conversation with Shuuji picked off from where it left off. Shuuji, Miyu's in the house. You think Michiru called her over without telling me? It's my house. Of course I would know. Let's just say it's radio waves. What? Just figured I should tell you so be prepared. Brushing aside his confusion, I pulled out my phone to call Michiru again.
Hi, Michiru desu.
Shuji's here right now in my room. I know Miyo's with you as well, so you guys should come hang out with us.
すぐ行きます。
Although the request I made of Michiru was somewhat different from last time, her response was not. Yeah, of course it wasn't. Of course it wasn't change. You could smash the thing all you want. She's not going to change her opinion on that. And once again, it did not take long for us to hear approaching footsteps from the hallway. I rewound time, and you still say this. Forgot to stop her from saying it. I guess it doesn't matter this time, though. Everything up to now has been the same as before, but... Gosh, she sounds even more nervous than the other time. Since Miu knew Shuuji was going to be here this time, she was already incredibly nervous as she came in. Miu did something so bold yesterday, I thought that she would be over her embarrassment, but she still looked as bashful as ever. Miu's eyes darted back and forth as she tried to think of a topic of conversation. Then she looked at her hand. Her hand was still shaking, but it seemed she wasn't in full-on panic anymore. Mia looked at me next. Then she smiled. It was a smile directed solely at me. I think it'll be cool, and I'm really hoping that they do this. So, I'm assuming Miu's route's kind of like the canon first route. I mean, I'm just assuming that. I could be totally wrong, and I'm sure someone's opinion's like, Justin, that's not right. But... actually, is there an order you have to go? I think there isn't. I think you just have to do all the other girls before you do Crow. That's what I've heard. But I would assume Miu's route would be kind of first. It seems like it's kind of like the canon first route. I'm not saying it's the canon route, but it's just the first one you would do. I think it would be cool is if we did her route first, right? And then we like kind of helped her get with him, but we end up getting with her instead, you know, that kind of deal. And then after that, when we go to the next route, she gets with him. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, if we go and get with our sister, she gets with him. I think that would be really cool. Shuuji and Miu getting together, and then we, of course, have to get with Michiru. Not too excited about that, but I already know it's coming up. We have snacks and soda here. Already? Miu and I were both shocked at his declaration, albeit for different reasons. Michiru, on the other hand, just stood by the sidelines, smiling gently. Well, he can't exactly confess his feelings to her when she's right next to her and feels feelings for him. That would be just an absolute mess. Well, it would have been nice if he could have hung out a little bit longer, but he's clearly, like, just wants to avoid too much of a mess. And I don't blame him. Acting as if it weren't a big deal at all, Shuuji left the room. Hey, at least let me see you to the door. I opted to follow Shuuji instead of staying with the girls. We invite them over and then leave. Okay. Shuuji stopped outside the door and looked up at the sky. Hey, Shuuji. No. Hey, Shuuji. Shuuji seemed really agitated, but that wasn't the concern. Hey, Shuuji. His ears and cheeks were slightly flushed and sweaty, but I could tell it was not because of the summer heat. I was just imagining him saying it's you that I like. Like, it just totally goes a different direction. Like we totally derail the game. Girls? Nah, we're gonna go after our best friend. He answered my question before I could ask it, and I sighed deeply in response. I actually did play a visual novel where I got with... Hey, okay, listen to me before you make any judgments. I accidentally got onto the best friend route. Like, there actually was a best friend route. Like, you had all these girls, and then you could actually get with your best friend, too. And I just made these decisions because I wasn't sure, like, how to get onto a certain girl's route, and I was trying to get onto her route first. I think her name was Chinatsu. And by making, like, these kind of vague, just kind of normal choices, you end up getting with the best friend instead of any of the girls, because I didn't get enough points with them or whatever. Gosh, I will never forget that. I was like, what the frick? I didn't know you could do this. And I followed it through. I mean, it was weird, but I'm just so used to, like, getting on a girl's route. Never been on a guy's route. It's like, what the heck? Anyways, Shuuji wasn't going to give up on Michiru. And that meant were Miyu to confess to him again, he would unquestionably turn her down. So now what?
どうするってなんだ
Doesn't matter if you reject Miyu because Michiru won't accept you either. You saw how she acted.
そうだろうな
So I'll ask again. Now what?
別にどうもしない適当なところでミユに断りを入れてあとはいつもの生活に戻るだけだ
So he's in love with Michiru. He's just gonna turn down Miyu. He's not gonna get with Michiru either, though. He's just gonna wait till he finds somebody else. That's honestly respectable. I will say that. I feel like if that's how you feel, like that's what you should do. Like don't date someone that you don't like, right? Don't lead them on like that. Except that's the problem though, is you get people that do that and then later they end up falling in love with that person that they originally liked them and that person doesn't like them back anymore, and it's just really weird. Like they didn't realize them when they were younger, but as they got older, like, oh, actually I kind of do like her. We'll have to see. I'm really curious if they're gonna go down like these two end up getting together if we don't end up getting with her. I think that'd be cool. We'll see.
というかどうするのかはさんずいお前の方だろ
Well, I'm gonna get with all the women, so I don't know what you're gonna do. Friggin' loser.
明らかにお前に気があるぞむっつりのお前が気づいてないわけないよな
Yeah, freaking both those girls are into me. It's a problem.
それにも文句はねさんずいもあの子もよくやってる今日のまともに喋れた様子を見て偉いと思ったよ
Wow, Shuji's actually recognized the effect we've had on Miyu and is complimenting us for this? Gosh, this character writing is top tier. I'm like so happy. Like this story has gone in a completely different direction. I thought this was going to be another one of those games where everybody's a pervert. The girls are constantly getting themselves into dumb situations and they're, you know, I'm not saying that the characters are dumb, but the writing isn't necessarily that great. Like this so far has been pretty top tier. Like they've managed to get more serious moments. They've managed to incorporate the watch pretty nicely. Like I actually feel like the time travel bit of this hasn't been a huge factor in it. Like it is, but like not really. I'm sure as the game goes on, I'm going to see more of it being used, but right now, I actually like the pace that they're going with it, where it's not like this huge main plot point all the time. Clearly it is, but it's not all the time, and I really appreciate that. Like, the characters have been great, the story so far has been really great, I've been enjoying it a lot. Shuuji didn't try to hide his intentions or true feelings at all. He really did want nothing but the best for Miyu and I. Yeah, and the best friend has actually been one of my favorite characters as far as writing goes. Like, he's been very, like, supportive, very realistic to me. Like, he's not interested in her, and he's not gonna, like, compromise that. He's not gonna, like, be mean to her, but he's not gonna pretend that he's interested in her and lead her on, which is great.
とにかく俺が妹さんに気があることをミユに知られるのは残酷だ俺は帰るよ
Yeah. Shuuji waved goodbye before turning to leave. What do I do now? I stood in the doorway dumbstruck for about 10 seconds before finally going back into the house.
レイ先輩、石田先輩はどうしたんですか
I just really hope that Rei just, like, says it how it is. So far, he's kind of done that. He's been pretty honest with her about things, so I really hope that he just comes in and tells her, like, hey, he's not really interested in you. It's nothing, he was just stopping by, he had to go home once he was done. Miyu looked a bit frazzled, which made me think something happened while I was gone. Demetria tried to grope her. Ew, why?
私、何か怒らせるようなことしちゃったんでしょうか
Oh no, that's not. He really just did have to go home. I tried to act like everything was normal.
石田先輩、少し息が上がってましたし、調子が悪かったのかもしれませんね。
Michiru came up with a convenient explanation for Shuji's odd behavior, even though she was the one that caused it. So he didn't tell her. And my other theory as to why he wouldn't want to tell her is maybe he's waiting for Shuuji to be the one to say it. And that's fine too. If that's the case, I would rather Shuuji say it anyways. I feel like it coming from the person that you're wondering whether they like you or not would make more sense than, you know, the friend saying anything about it. So if that's the route they're going to go, I'll be okay with that too. Like, if they don't say anything here, I'm fine with that. It's clear as day that Michiru didn't see any man other than me as potential romantic partner.
そうですか。 初めてきちんとお話できると思ったのに。
Yeah, but we're here, okay? Ray's here, Michiru's here. Like, you guys need to have this conversation alone.
上がり症の克服がどうしてミュウさんに必要なのかを探ろうと思いましたが、お目当ては石田先輩だったんですね。この家の敷地の中ではいくら叫んでも外には聞こえませんよ。
Why does that sound very threatening? You were coming over to have a talk with Miu about me, and then you say that. Should I be concerned? Hey, don't pull any shenanigans with her. I stifled Michiru's threat right away. Okay, good. I'm glad he noticed it too. Like, that wasn't just me getting something out of thin air. I think you said a little too much, Miu.
相談できるお友達が増えたと思うことにします。
Why not Misaki? You have tons of friends you could talk to this about. Now then. I wasn't trying to lead the conversation in this direction, but the things are going, we're going to end up talking about Miu's love life. I know. How gross. We don't want to talk about that. I really don't want to say anything careless in front of Michiru, though. Well, anyways, now that we're all here, we should play a game.
お医者さん。
Do not finish that sentence.
じゃあ、おままごと？
The one thing I don't like about this game, though, is Ray sometimes says what I'm thinking, and so I can't make jokes about it. I can't make my own comments, because he literally just says what I'm thinking, and it's perfect. I'm like, yes, please, do not go any further with that sentence. That was my exact thoughts. You really want to?
いえ、なんかこう、流れ的に。
Miu had a remarkable knack for making an awkward situation even worse. That is remarkable. Not in a good way, but sure.
一人減ってしまいましたが、麻雀でもしましょうか。
You're crazy good at mahjong for someone who's blind. Actually, yeah, how would you play mahjong? Like, do you feel it? Like, how would you know? Normally I would suggest we play cards, but that was out of the question due to Michiru's blindness. I wonder if there's cards for someone who's blind. I feel like you could make, like the braille on them. I feel like that wouldn't be too hard to do. She's much more adept at tabletop games like mahjong, chess, or shogi since she can understand the mechanics of the game through her sense of touch. Wait, Miu, do you even know how to play mahjong?
一応、みちるちゃんと遊ぶのに覚えました。
So you showed her how to play, Michiru. Thanks a lot.
本当にルールを覚えただけなので。みゆさんは私と同じか、それ以上に強いですよ。
Dang, okay. That's quite the compliment. 2 Michiru level players. If I were to take both of them in mahjong by myself, I'd undoubtedly be a full course sitting duck meal with trifle for dessert. That's... what? That's a really specific meal, but okay. I'll accept it, I guess. How can 2 girls be so good at mahjong
皆
anyways?
さんの呼吸や体温、話し方の変化などで自然と危険範囲がわかります。
That's scary.
確率の計算で。
Oh, okay. So you literally cold read people, and then you are calculating the math. You are doing the math, okay? Predatory beasts and an egghead. Great.
あと、積み込みも得意です。
Wait a second. I can swear you just admitted to cheating.
あれってルール違反なんですか？兄様、私とみゆさんとみさきさんで麻雀をするときは、イカ様は気づかれなければ技としてありありなんです。
What the hell are you teaching her? Never take her to a casino. She will get kicked out and charged. Can't play with you guys. You're freaking me out
じゃ
here.
あ、どうします？
Miu, you're answering that. No! Because then my sister's gonna want to be the wife and you're gonna be the daughter. That's how it's gonna go.
楽しかったですね。
Definitely would not refer to all of that as fun. That night I found myself curled up in bed exchanging text messages with Miu, though you and Michiru definitely seemed to be having a lot of fun. I read the message I had just sent out loud, hardly noticing through the haze of sleepiness. Staring at the screen on my phone, I could almost picture Miu giggling on the other side in response to that. Since I refused to play Mahjong, we decided to go along with the idea of playing house seriously. Ew, what are you guys in kindergarten? I agreed to be the mother because it sounded like fun. Nature ended up getting too into it, and I'm just gonna stop there. It's best to forget what's too painful to remember. Okay. Well, yeah. While I was starting to space out, I received another response from Miu. Good job. That was the real issue at hand. It was something we definitely couldn't talk about with Mitru around. It only took 3 or 4 days of practice, right? I knew you could do it. Even though a text-only medium of communication, I could tell Miu was excited. I couldn't help but smile. I was having a blast texting with a girl for the first time in my life. That's probably because you never tried talking with a boy before. Because of you. Talk about a pickup line. Or a Kelly Clarkson song. You're gonna make me blush. That sentence was too embarrassing to put in a text message. What if I sent her a message that said, I really like you, and just played it off as a joke? Okay, story time. So, when my wife and I were dating, I sent her a text message. I was going to tell her good night, but I decided to spice it up, okay? So I spiced it up by saying, love you, good night, or something along those lines. It was a little bit longer than that, but to boil it down, I pretty much said, in kind of like almost a joking way, that I love you, good night. And like, it seriously threw her off. So I found out after we were married, like how much that seriously like just messed up her mind, because she was like, does he really mean that? Is he just saying that jokingly? I kind of said it jokingly at first, but I think that was technically the first time I did tell her I loved her, and it kind of just went along with there. So be careful what you say jokingly, because it might end up coming true, which can be a good or bad thing. In my case, it was a good thing, so you would probably take it seriously. But since I can turn back time anyways, I wonder if it might be worth a shot. See, I was expecting him to do more things like this, where he just throws out something crazy, or does something crazy, and then just undoes it. We'll see if he does it. Until just a few days ago, I used that trick on girls all the time to see who might like me back. I never seriously thought about it like this before. Aw. Crow, what are you doing? We're trying to get romance here. Unless you want to get romantic, okay. Suddenly, Crow appeared descending through the ceiling. Welcome home. Texting. Telegraphs, wow. I know what those are, but I've never actually seen one in person. Then instead of a text, my phone received an incoming call. Oh, you're calling me? What the heck? I like how Crow's just like, She's just listening in. Oh, what is he gonna tell her? No, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so he's just going along with it. Miu's voice sounded a bit anxious after I agreed to our plan. I guess, Shuuji did say that he was gonna turn her down again, so I suppose Rei would be going along with that idea, right? Like, he's just gonna let it happen again, and she's gonna get shot down, and then hopefully she'll give up by that point, right? Miu's voice sounded a bit anxious after I agreed to her plan. Okay. Sorry, I need to take a bath soon. Alright, see you next week. Oh, well, I feel like we should have talked to her a little bit more. The call ended and I tossed my phone on the bed. No, I already did that earlier. I really shouldn't be talking to Miu anymore. Nia probably realized it today. The scales in her heart were beginning to tip. Whether that was a good or bad thing for Miu, I hadn't the foggiest idea. In any case, Crow, you really do show up at the most convenient of times. This is why you're best girl. Crow spoke without a care in the world as she continued to float in the air. I'm just so happy that she has a route. I know that was a spoiler that I found out this early. I mean, not really. It's not a huge spoiler, but it just makes me happy inside knowing that Best Girl has a route. I hate games where the best girls don't have routes, so I'm so happy. I think I say that every episode, too. I think I said that last one. I was talking about how much I enjoyed the fact that she gets a route. But I'm just so excited for it. I don't care how much of a stupid candy butt you think I am, but I know what I have to do. Wow, thanks. I'll forgive you because you're Best Girl, but don't say that again. I have to finish what I've started here. That's the whole reason for all of this. Yeah, but this is the way Shuuji wants it to be, and I feel like on the same side, this is also involving Shuuji, and we should respect his wishes too. We're just this weird middleman that's doing this for... I don't know. I can still strike while the iron is hot. It's been a long time since I last saw Crow this surprised, but then the neat goddess scowled at me again. What? Well, que Sarah Sarah. Is that Spanish? I'm sorry, I just don't know Spanish, so I have no idea what he just said. Isn't K like what? Something like that? Hold the covers up and over my head. I'm glad to know that it would be Sunday tomorrow. After all, I knew I wasn't going to be sleeping well tonight. Hey, it's Saturday today. It's going to be Sunday tomorrow. Gosh, I was like, that's a short scene, because I feel like I've been ending these videos when that happens. It's only been 30 minutes. Usually it's about an hour. I wonder where we are. Are we, oh, frick, not what I meant to do. We want to go to system. Does it tell us where we are? No? I have no idea. Thus time advances. Now then. Our first act is approaching its climax, so there is not much left to explain. There are just 3 crucial scenes that remain for you to see. With that said, let me briefly recap things. The problem which you have seen unfold thus far cannot possibly be resolved in a way that would work in everyone's favor. And when it comes to the final decision, I have the authority to make it myself. I'm not fond of thinking in hypotheticals. Sometimes, though, I have to wonder, if ChronoClock had no 5-minute time limit and allowed me to rewind as far back as I wish, would I want to do my meeting with Mia all over again? Thinking about it, honestly, Wait. Are they going to undo the 5-minute time limit? Is that what's going to happen? Is that how we, like, go through every route? We just, like, redo time. The twilight of summer and the beach. Romantic, eh? Hey, just play along with it. You know, you're not best friends unless you get a little gay with each other. Shuuji seemed exceptionally pissy when I met him here. Just one thing I forgot to ask. I need to talk with you face to face about something like this. It's humiliating and I need there to be no one else around. Ignoring his stubbornness, I came right out and asked him, if you had just one chance to turn back time and relive your life from any point in the past, how far back would you turn the hands of time? The thing about a question like that is, can I retain my memories? That's the differentiating factor. Because if you don't retain your memories, it's pointless. There's no reason to do something like that. But if I could take my knowledge I have right now and go back, I would probably go back decently far. I would redo probably quite a bit of stuff. I'd probably go back to maybe when I was like 8 or 9, somewhere in there. Like most people, I feel like would just go back a few years and redo stuff, right? I would go back quite a bit further and set things up for myself as I got older. He probably thought it was a stupid question, but Shuuji still pondered over it seriously. After a little while, Shuuji stared out the glimmer of sunlight reflecting on the ocean as his expression clouded over. Wow, okay, that's romantic. Wow, This guy has the option of going back in time to do anything for himself, and he chooses to do that. Now I feel like a terrible person. I was just thinking about improving myself. And this dude's like, yeah, I'm gonna improve her life. It's like, wow, okay. Making me look bad. Quietly nodded. Deep within my heart, I felt an incredible chill. I stood up straight and mentally braced myself for what I was about to do. So that's how it is. Shuuji, you're saying you want to relive your life for another person's sake, with nary a moment's thought of doing it for yourself. Guess that means we're in the same boat, so we may as well go down with the ship together. Shuuji, just confessed to Michiru already.
Huh? Oi!
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm, like, skipping over his voice lines. I need to, like, hold that longer. Just as I had expected, Shuuji was shocked to hear that. I did. Exactly. That's what I wanted to tell you. So, of course, I couldn't just text you about it. Hey, just cause you know the outcome doesn't mean you shouldn't do something. If you really love her, go tell her that. Do it for yourself. It's gonna hurt when you get rejected and she's like, yeah, don't really see you that way. But at least you'll know, and that'll give you the courage to move on from her. Or at least have the comfort that, hey, I tried to do something about it and it didn't work out. You know, you're eliminating the possibility of regret. That was definitely Shuji's 100% honest, unfiltered opinion of me in that very instant. By calling us... They're calling us a cunt. Okay. For the first time in my life, I knew that what it was like to be hated by someone. And my best friend, no less. Honestly, I was terrified, and yet, I'm begging you. I thought he was about to punch me, but instead he decided, trying to calm down. What he wanted to do was change the subject and put this conversation on hold, I could tell. Put it off, wait and see. Like, that kind of thinking ever did me any good. Shuuji. I'm not letting you off the hook until you do. Shuuji spat out my name with extreme loathsomeness. Yeah, I am. My voice was shaking. It was embarrassing and nerve-wracking to admit that out loud. What the hell's wrong with me? I shook off the embarrassment and tried to get it together. I don't want to be wishy-washy about Michiru when Mio confesses to you again. I don't want you to be wishy-washy. Okay. That actually is an interesting way of doing it. Like, confessing to her, and then if she says no, which I'm assuming she will, right? Going into that, having that cleared conscience now of whether or not that relationship's going to work out. Going into this next one where Mio's confessing to Shuuji. I feel like that's going to change his perspective on it. He's going to take it with a more open mind, right? Like he's not going to be locked down to, gosh, where is this fly coming from? It's not going to be locked down to Michiru because he already knows that Michiru said no. So he could go the direction of, I'm going to keep pursuing her even though she said no, right? But I don't think he's that kind of guy. I think he's just going to be disappointed and just kind of deal with it, right? So going into that now, he'll have a better perspective of really listening to Mio's confession. So we'll see. That could go well. He might still say no, and I think he probably will, but at least he'll be thinking about it honestly, rather than just being completely blind because he's in love with somebody else. You loaned her your umbrella, didn't you?
Huh?
When you loaned her your umbrella, you thought it might be a good chance to meet a cute girl, right? I'm the same as you. I've been helping her because I thought she was cute. That means we're both idiots here, so we ought to just call honor among thieves and stick together until it's over. Shuuji groaned. My frustration was at the point of a needle. I felt like I was talking to a brick wall. Just listen to me, darn it. Dang, we're getting pissed off at him. Okay, let's do it. Shuuji was taken aback by me suddenly starting to yell at him. The girl was the first to work up the courage to confess, while you and I were just sitting on our butts. She's had her nose to the grindstone all this time, all for your sake. I'm not demanding that you accept her or anything like that, but for Christ's sake, can't you at least give her a chance? If anything, you should know more than anyone how much it hurts that your crush will always be unrequited. Don't you? I was in a desperate frenzy trying to convince him, and I knew all too well that I was the last person on earth who should be saying that to his face. No, I don't think so. I think you should be the one saying it. Okay. Dang, okay, he's just grabbing onto him like, you freaking better listen to me, you frick. Grab Shuuji by the collar as my blood boiled viciously. Hate people who yell at others to prove a point, so I never normally do this kind of thing. I don't really think that, like, yelling at someone's a bad way of getting a point across. I think sometimes you have to yell, sometimes you have to swear. You have to do something different than what you usually do, because that conveys how much emotion you're feeling right now. Is it good to go around yelling at people? No. It shouldn't be. It should be a rare thing, if at all. But sometimes I think you just need to get the point across about how serious you are about something. And sometimes you have to show a very expressive emotion, which is like yelling or anger, things like that. I'm hopeless, aren't I? Never felt my head spin this much before, and I don't care how hopeless I may be right now, this can't be left unsaid. You're the one she likes, not me. Shuji's eyes were bewildered as we continued to stare each other down. Like hell, I tell you crap I don't know. You say that like I hadn't thought about that possibility a long time ago. I don't know. It depends. At this point, does he really like her? Because, I mean, clearly Shuuji doesn't really care for her, but does Rei like her? Because, like we've kind of talked about in the past, that would be a good thing for him, right? But he didn't necessarily go down that route. He wasn't really, like, trying to get her away from Shuuji. He's really been earnestly trying to help her get with Shuuji, which is nice. It's nice to see a character do something like that, like, without, like, you know, their own intentions. Shuji's eyes wandered as if he was looking for something to say. I refused to let go, not until I had a real answer from him. Shuji scowled at me. Fight, fight, fight. Just kidding. Fully prepared to come to blows for this. Is that far enough? Saw the viciousness fade from Shuji's eyes, so I released my grip on him. Pushing my hands away, Shuji fixed his ruffled clothing. Weren't you gonna punch me? Yeah, we're 13 years old now. Gosh. Just kidding. Shuji spat out those words, then turned and walked away. I glared daggers into his back as he gradually left my field of vision, but he never looked back. Once he was gone, all that remained was the sound of the waves, the fading twilight. So he never really gave us an answer. Yeah, you just let him go. What? I refused to let go not until I had a real answer from him. And then, like, a few sentences later, I saw the viciousness fade from Shuji's eyes, so I released my grip on it. You didn't get an answer. It's like, what do you mean? Ooh, we're in Prologue 5. The fading twilight. And me alone. Oh my gosh. I was like, what the heck happened? The screen was, like, shaking. Fell on my knees and buried my head in my hands. Since I knew no one else was around, I just howled all my frustrations into the night. The sheer stress alone was making me want to throw up. Should I rewind time? No, I won't be able to go back far enough. Man, why didn't I just keep my stupid mouth shut? Shuji, you were right. Now I have to face him at school again tomorrow. This blows. Wait, blows? Doesn't even cut it. Did I just lose my best friend? Will he ever speak to me again? Who am I supposed to force to do all my group assignments now? I'll die. I swear to Christ, if anyone finds out about this, I will die. Best girl. Best girl knows. And here I was, happy for a moment that you don't give a crap about humans' personal affairs. Of course, she was only a figment of my imagination anyways. At this point, it didn't matter if she knew. Gosh, you know what I just thought about? Is Crow... So, I'm assuming we're going to have at some point, they kind of hinted at it, that we're going to be able to rewind time further than 5 minutes, maybe on special occasions, like at the end of a route or something, you know? It'll like rewind, and then we'll be at the start again or something, right? And things will go differently. Maybe something like that, we'll see. But is Crow going to remember every single route? I don't know. I would think so. You would think, like, 'cause she would remember after the 5 minutes, right? Like, she knows. So, like, if we rewind after each route, she's gonna see us getting with every single girl and eventually getting with her. That's some cucking right there. So how much of that did you see? Oh yeah, I'm sure. Now she tells me. Yeah. Crow smiled warmly in contrast to her usual cynical attitude. I'm not gonna rewind and start over, so don't ask. What do you mean likely wouldn't be able to? Are you saying there's a possibility? Interesting. Shut up. That hurts coming from Best Girl, okay? Who's apparently just a figment of our imagination, too. I love this game. Out of all the words I said that she decided to throw back in my face, it had to be that. Which part are you saying? Because I don't think you have to yell and, like, try to fight somebody to be a man. I think like the best thing you could do to be a man is just to be honest with your feelings. And the same thing you could do to be the best woman you can be too. It would just be honest with your feelings with other people, right? Like, don't, like, if you're trying to be honest with your partner and grow closer to them, you have to be vulnerable, you have to be honest, right? And I feel like that's the most manly or womanly thing you could do, is just to be honest and you know, just try to be the best person you can be, right? I think that it's very almost gender neutral. Like, just be honest, just be a good person. You would do well to have pride in that. That's all I wish to tell you. Crow floated off as if that had really been the only reason she came here. That was weird. Crow actually complimented me for once. Took a seat on the sandy shore. Didn't care if my uniform got dirty, I needed to lie down. The sky was bathed in glowing red. It was a wonderful sight. I felt so much regret. Wait a minute. I'd actually done something worth regretting. That wasn't so bad. Besides, it was a neat thing to do. So, in the anime, Kami-sama no Memocho, I think that's one of the taglines for the show. It's the neat thing to do. So it says neat as in, like, N-E-E-T, you know? Apparently Crow's a neat too. But, sorry, I just thought of that anime when they said that, because I'm pretty sure that's the exact line they used, except it wasn't neat, it was neat. And for now, it was the only thing I could have done. So I'm guessing that's one of the 3 scenes we're gonna see. So let's see what the other 2 are. Let's see here, what's going on? Good morning. Let's go to the backlog real quick. Oh, we're still in the prologue. I thought that was gonna be the last one. Confession the day before. Good morning, Makoto. I was feeling depressed on Monday morning, but Makoto's greeting made me feel a little bit better. Then looking around the classroom, I saw Shuuji slouching in his chair. He noticed and looked back, but I immediately averted my gaze. Well, I tried to pick a fight with my best friend, and now I'm feeling a little bit bummed about it. Let's just say it's stress. Yep, and stress raises your cortisol levels, and if your cortisol levels are too high for too long, it breaks down your immune system, which can make you sick and just make you unhappy. My wife's studying in school, these kind of things, so she tells me about it. I feel like really smart when I can say something like that. I didn't know about that before, but now I know. You weren't. Sometimes I feel like we have the attitude. Eesh, as if my stomach didn't hurt enough, now my head hurts too. Honestly, I should have just skipped school today. Oh boy, what's gonna happen? Is today the day of the confession? Despite my worries, Monday's classes went by for me without incident. Shuuji ignored me all day, and I didn't see Miyu at all either. She had told me before that she wanted to do some practice before she tried confessing again, but I ended up getting out of that by telling her to practice on her own. It's been too long since I had this much free time. Maybe I'll go home and sleep. Isn't that so bad? You get free time and you're like, yes, I have the whole world in my hands. I can do anything. I'm gonna go take a nap. Freaking me. I suppose I could have joked around with Misaki for a bit, but I decided to just go home quietly instead. I didn't have energy to deal with a girl like that. What do you mean? She's best girl. Well, one of the best girls. There's many best girls in this game. All of them are pretty good. Even Miu. Miu's not my favorite, but I'm not saying she's bad. Like, she actually is pretty cool. Just not my type. Not my kind of girl I'd go after. Took a nap until dinner time. Later that night, as I lay in bed playing a game, I heard a voice from the hall.
兄様、みちるです。少しよろしいでしょうか。
The door's not
正
locked.
直と襖ですからね。
Okay. Oh, hold on. I'll come out and see you. It'd be a very bad idea to let Mitra into my room this late at night. Good point. Good point. What is it?
呼ばいされに参りました。
No. Good night. The pleasant fragrance of Mitra's shampoo is also... Stop. Nope. Don't do it.
あら、新しい返し技ですね。
That's where it goes wrong. You start sniffing a girl, you start smelling her shampoo, and it's over. You're gonna get with her. This is quite a new response from you. Guess it fell flat, huh?
ドキリといたしました。
Well, anyways, what's up?
夕涼みにその辺りを散歩しようと思ったので、少しお付き合いいただければとお願いに参りました。
Okay. That's actually nice. Anybody who wants to just go on a walk and like get some fresh air and chill, like that's a vibe right there. Evidently she wanted to walk in the garden, especially if it's in like a cool place. I mean, you can go walking anywhere, right? Like, but like it has to be a certain feel, like in the evening, right? When the sun's going down, you know, it's dusk. That's a vibe. That's a time to go on a walk. But if you're just like kind of walking around doing whatever, like during the day, not so much. But like a late night walk in the garden, that's chill. Of course, she knows her way around our home, but since there is the possibility of her tripping on one of the decorative stones or shrubs, it would be dangerous for her to go alone. Sure thing. I took Mitra's hands, whereupon we walked through the porch and out into the garden. How romantic.
兄様、月は出ていますか?
Let's just tell her it's a blood moon, and just you see all these like freaking things from Zelda spawning. It's been a while since I played Breath of the Wild. I'm trying to remember. They're not goblins. They're like Boglin? No, I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you played Breath of the Wild, you know what I'm talking about. Freaking, you have Zelda saying the blood moon rises. Looking up, I could see the moon almost fully waxed and shining down from the night sky.
そうですか。申し訳ありませんが、私の代わりに見てもらえますか?
Alright, we'll do that. Sounds fair. While he answered her, I glanced at the profile of her face. Something on your mind?
はい。ありました。
What happened?
石田先輩に告白されました。
Good man. He did it. Mitra remained as stoic as ever. I recoiled in shock, but I made sure to control my breathing so she wouldn't notice. Yeah, you don't have to control your face, just your breathing. What'd you
も
say?
ちろん、丁寧にお断りさせていただきました。
Okay, I expected that. Are you sure about that? He's not a bad guy, you know.
ええ。でも、10段階評価で7や8の素晴らしい方がいたとしても、1000に万を重ねた兄様の前では意味をなし得ません。
What happened to the scale of 10?
恋は盲目です。
That deserves another drink. Water's great, guys. Make sure to stay hydrated. I must admit, that's a brilliant response. No, he's pointing it out. You ruined the joke.
ずっと温めてきたネタですから。
I'm sure you have. Wonder which came first, the chicken or the
お
egg.
話はそれだけです。
Thanks for telling me.
石田先輩にそのことを兄様に伝えてくれと言われたので。
I see. I see. He really is a good chap.
え、
I know, he is like a great, like, best friend. He's a good friend. Not perfect, but he's good. Looked up at the moon. I understood that it would be a hot, sunny day tomorrow. It would come to be my date with Destiny. Who's Destiny? Is that the blonde-haired girl we haven't met yet? Because isn't there a blonde-haired girl? I don't even think we've seen her yet. All right, what's happening? So we're on 7, right? Let me make sure. The day of. Okay, so I'm assuming we're gonna have this, and then we're gonna like do some time thing, and then we're gonna like start the new route, I guess. I don't know how that works, but I guess I'll cover it in this video. Just like the hands of time, the world rotated once more on its axis. July, summertime. On that day, standing on the rooftop, the one place in all the school reaching closest to the sky, I knew that I would soon experience my first broken heart. It was after school and no one else was on the rooftop. It seemed like I was the first to arrive. Just to be safe, I glanced over the railing at the ground below, confirming that Miu had not fallen to her death again. That's so terrible that we have to do that. I still can't believe... If I had anything to pick a bone with in this game, it would be that. Like, this is so dumb that we have to actively watch out for Miu falling off the roof. Like, she is a magnet to the ground. Evidently, her luck was better today. As I was looking up at the railing, the door opened behind me. I wonder what would happen if we were the ones to fall off the roof. Because we've already died once, technically, right? That outfit. It was the first thing about her that caught my attention. Yeah, you look okay in it, I suppose. Possibly. We're going all out today. You came and stood beside me. Stop flirting. Don't do that. Well, we did spend all of our last week together. Where's Shuuji? Where's Perry? I see, so we're just waiting for him to show up. Yeah, same. I don't really care to wait. Mia seemed extremely anxious and unable to calm down. Her hands were fidgeting. As we continued to wait, her fidgeting hands grasped the hem of my jacket. Whoa, okay. Small, precious, small hand. Such precious, small hands. You don't need a reason to fall in love, right? Please. Please, Ray, say it. Say love is blind. That's what you said to me on the day we first met. Yep, you totally did. You were completely serious about it, too. Don't need a reason to fall in love. Yeah, I think I do remember her saying that. Okay, okay. Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. Which I think she is. So, good. Well, I definitely remember it. Quietly watched me as she drooped her shoulders in dejection. That's one thing I can't ever forget. In a very short time, this girl was going to retry confessing her feelings to someone she loved. And if all were to go smoothly, I had helped her all along the way, but somehow I still couldn't get excited at the prospect of her success. Oh boy. Okay, let's see how this goes. Let's do it. I glanced up at the sky there, and I returned to my gaze to the iron door leading up from the school building. At that moment, a thought crossed my mind. Perhaps I don't want that door to ever open. You don't need a reason to fall in love. Are you falling in love with her? Is that what you're trying to tell me? I know what you meant by that now, but I actually do have a reason. Are they gonna do something like I either can choose to accept her feelings or accept my feelings for her or reject those feelings? And that's like whether we like go down her route to begin, or if like I can choose another route and then eventually like we can lead back up to this. But I don't know. I'm curious. I wonder if they'll do something like that. I'm just so curious right now how they're going to branch it into like multiple things. Like what's going to happen? Where are we going from here? And I don't know, which is great. I like not knowing for once because it leads me to speculate. But let's just go ahead and see what ends up happening. Miu asked me, her face one of complete seriousness. She looked too serious, in fact. So I tried to get out the words out. At that exact moment, the door opened, and he threw a flashbang. Why did it get so bright? Shuuji finally showed up. He immediately furrowed his brow at the heat and humidity. Looking at us, he gently called out to me at first. Wow, okay, he's being nice. Or I wonder if he'll end up returning her feelings, and then we have to decide whether we want to break them up and pursue her instead. What if they did something crazy like that? I'm just making up things now. I really need to stop. Just like thinking of all the ways this could go. Quietly watched them talk a whole week. Everything happened in just 1 week. Yeah, what is this, like, episode... Is this episode 4? I think so. Had a lot happen in a week's time. Never mind that now. I don't need to be here anymore. I shouldn't be here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. At that moment, Miu seemed to pick up on what I was thinking, so she turned back to Shuuji for a moment. What? Shuuji stepped back so that Miu could talk to me. What's wrong? That's nice of her to, like, thank him for all the work he's put into, like, helping her build up her confidence and her self-esteem and just being less nervous, just having less anxiety overall. That was nice of her to do. He respectfully bowed to me. I didn't do anything, really. No, if I hadn't grabbed you by the hand, you would have fallen off the roof again. Voice trailed off in mid-sentence. It wasn't that she was stuttering or hesitating, she simply looked at me with innocence in her eyes, waiting for my answer to an unspoken question. I suppose it's possible to confess your feelings without saying a word. It was time to decide. I was only loaning you an umbrella since you were caught in the rain. Go on. He gave Miu a push on the back. My hands were trembling, but I had to hope that Miu wouldn't notice that. You've had your nose to the grindstone up until now because of all that, haven't you? Miu reaffirmed her strong determination to succeed, yet even as she nodded in the affirmative, tears were beginning to well in her eyes. Then she turned her back to me. Her back was still close enough for me to reach her. This was so painful. Until that very moment, I never realized just how much it could hurt to fall in love with someone. But I had to find love on my own. I suppose it's a necessary pain to endure. Que sera, sera. I was more than happy to suffer this pain if I learned something from it. Up until last week, I'd used my pocket watch countless times to try my hand at confessing to girls, but now all the names of interests I noted on my phone seemed like nothing but lies. My pocket watch. I grabbed it in a vice-like grip. I could still smash and undo everything. There was still time. Well, if only I had the power to make this choice. Senpai. Wow, now we're the ones getting cucked. We just have to sit here and let this happen. I looked up when I heard Mia's voice, but she was calling it to Shuuji, not me. Her voice no longer trembled with fear. If ChronoClock had no 5-minute time limit and allowed me to rewind as far back as I wished, would I go back to do my meeting with Mia all over again? I wonder if that's what's going to happen. Thinking about it, honestly, I would not turn back time. I only have one option. I don't even get to choose. This is the illusion of choice, guys. I don't even have an option. I literally... Okay, well, I literally do have a option, but there's no choice in this. Would not turn... Okay, I guess there is a choice, but there's only one choice. Okay, what I'm saying is I don't have... I can't even say I don't have the freedom, because I do have the freedom, but there's only one choice, so I really don't have the freedom. Never mind. We just go with this. I would not turn back time. Couldn't do it. Definitely couldn't do it. No matter what the final outcome of this was, I just couldn't let everything Miu had worked up for until now go to waste like that. So I silently accepted the choice she had made. I liked you? What? Why don't you say like? Why did you say liked? Like it's a past tense thing. Even he's confused. He's like, what? Like, what kind of confession was that? Okay, good. I'm glad they're mentioning this. And as in the past tense. Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
なかなか面白い結末だったな。
I'm glad somebody's enjoying this. Evidently, Crow had been watching the entire charade. She floated down from the sky with a big fat grin on her face. It was idiotic enough to get me on my nerves right away. This is no laughing
い
matter.
やいや、なかなかの見せ物であった。これだから人の心は面白い。
Whatever. Good grief. Ultimately, nothing was to change from all this. The status quo had been reserved. Oh boy. As in past tense. After Mia's bizarre confession, the rooftop was silent. Naturally, Shuuji was a bit perplexed as to how he could respond to that. It was like the opposite of last week. Both men on the rooftop were completely befuddled, and only Mia was completely stoic.
本当にすみませんでした。でも、この1週間で、それ以上にいろいろなことに気づいてしまったんです。私は、まだまだ人を好きになるには子供でした。
It's okay. I know girls that like still think that way
だから、
in their 20s.
私に少しだけ時間をください。お願いします。
つまり保留か？
Wait, what? She's gonna confess again?
はい。すみません。
Is that what she's implying? She's gonna confess for a third time. Okay. Mia nodded her head. She had openly acknowledged the fault in her stars.
いや、俺は別にいいんだけど。
Shuuji looked at me, and Mia followed his gaze to look at me too. You're not confessing to me, are you?
先輩の答えはさっき聞きました。でも先輩の傘はまだ借りておきます。
Well, you better. It's probably gonna rain here soon. I'm pretty sure Japan has a big rainy season.
もっといい女になってみせますから。いつか迎えに来てください。ありがとうございました。
Okay. This has just gone in a completely different direction than I ever thought it would. Mia bowed her head and then ran back into the school. Thus, me and the other man on the roof were left gawping stupidly at each other.
サンズエ、なんか食べにでも行くか。
I could eat. Knock it off. If you asked me that right now with just the two of us here, I might just end up falling in love. Falling for you too.
いいね。なんだ。
I love that they make jokes about that. Women are scary.
全くだ。
Amen. Is that it? Is this
つまるところ、
okay?
この1週間で成長したのはお主だけでなく、あのミウという女子も立派な女に成長したというわけだな。
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Unlike me, she matured all at
お
once.
前も地に足がついたではないか。
I wouldn't say that. It's more like I've been dragged kicking and screaming into
そ
growing
れ
up.
にしても、あのミウという女子は本当に運が良い。
No.
そうであろう？もしもあの日、お主があの場に乱入しなければ、ミ
But wasn't it unlucky for her to fall from the roof to begin with?
ウ落ちていなければ告白をして振られて終わりだ。
She certainly had a
だが
point.
結果としてそれを回避した。これまでの不運はこの幸運のための代償だな。まさに家福はあざなえる縄のごとし。
Hey, where is this coin? Can we stop, like, flipping this coin and giving me so much bad luck in life? Don't think it's that simple. After all, what was I supposed to do now?
まあそう神気臭い顔をするな、ご主人。願いが叶ったのだから。
My wish?
我が輩の力を得て面白おかしく日常を過ごせればと願ったではないか。
Well, it's certainly done that. I mean, we can't disagree.
絶好のスタートだ。
There was nothing left to be said. This was the final resolution. I didn't know whether to be sad or angry, but all I could do was laugh. This has gone a lot differently than I ever pictured it going. Well, that was fun.
気が疲れると気持ち悪いがな。
Hey,
あれ？
I heard a voice that wasn't Crow's. Makoto just sees me having this conversation with nothing.
こんなところで何してるの？
Makoto came over to me, having noticed me standing around zoning out like that. What am I doing here? She says. What if I told you that I just had my heart broken?
男だね。
Hey, you be nice. Makoto laughed. She just seemed to think I was joking with her. I was serious. Her smile was really comforting. Pulled out my phone. Opening the notepad app, I glanced one last time at the list of girls' names, and I deleted it. Hey, Makoto.
何？
Remember last week when we were coming to school and you hit me over a misunderstanding? I believe your exact words to me were, quote, let's just say I owe you one, unquote.
何か思いついた？
Let's go, baby! Let's go! Deito! Makoto screamed in disbelief. I just grinned back at her. Aw, this is getting so good. Thus the clock advances. This is the end. Therefore, this is the beginning. The springtime of youth is far from over. I still have my role to play in this leisurely Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist. I have no idea how to pronounce it. I've heard of that word before. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to pronounce it. Don't really know what it means. This is the story of me and all these other girls. Oh, I almost forgot. It's the story of ChronoClock 2. Interesting. That was a really cool prologue, though. The way they did that prologue was way different than I've seen a lot of others. Like, it just felt like it was a story. Time travel limit to the past 5 minutes. Is it, though? Oh my gosh, they animated her boobs. Oh no. Oh no. How could you do this game? Oh no, 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 no. Terrible. Alright, best girl. Besides Crow, of course. What the? We haven't even met her! What? She wasn't even in the prologue! Yeah, yeah. Oh! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go. You're okay, Mio. You're okay. You're cute, but in like a little sister kind of way that you don't want to get with. Oh. That's a lot of butt. Dang. Hold up. What was that last one? Dang. I'm glad you guys recommended this game to me. This I always like doubt you guys when I like play the first like hour or two of a game. I'm like, what are you making me play? Like, there's always some weird stuff in there, and I find out there's a sister route. But then I get into the game, I'm like, holy frick, this is a really good game. There's a lot of hype in this trailer. Alright, let's freaking go. I'm excited. Like, that was a pretty cool prologue. I have to say, that was pretty top tier. Really enjoyed that. For a prologue, I felt like that was pretty strong. Okay, let's go look at the backlog. Shared 1. Is that what they're calling the kind of common route? It's shared between all the girls, and then you're going to make a choice that splits you off from that shared route? Interesting. I wish, and maybe there is, not sure where that would be. I wish there was more of a flow chart. I like flow charts so I can see where things branch off from. But I suppose this is fine. I just can't really, I don't know. It's not as intuitive to me. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end it here. I think this is a solid place to stop. We just had a lot going on, and it was perfect because it was just a little bit, you know, hour and 15 minutes. Not too bad. Really enjoyed that, though. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick. I'm trying to still be energetic and things like that. I mean, not a fake way, but just I'm trying to be myself, right? Really, though, this has been great so far. I'm really hoping that this energy I'm feeling from this common route stays throughout the rest of the game. I really hope that they can keep it up. It's gonna be a little bit harder once you start focusing on singular girls. I feel like there was a lot of focus on Miu, of course, but it's gonna be interesting to see how they do it. That's for sure. We still need to meet Blonde Girl. We're gonna have a sister route. I don't know. There's. I'm sure the sister route will be good. I think it's definitely the one I'm looking forward to the least. I always look forward to the sister routes the least, but I will say in Sora's case in 9-9, it was pretty fire. There was a lot that happened in that, and for a sister route, for an incesty route, it was pretty good. I'll say that. Hopefully this one will be good. Y'all said it's on the same tier, so we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, guys, though, pretty great episode. I mean, it's been a while since I played, so it's good to get back into it. I still feel sick. Like I just feel warm right now. Like I'm warm. My nose is kind of bothering me. My sore throat's gone away. That's why I ended up recording. I've wanted to record like since yesterday or even the day before, but every time I feel like I'm feeling better, I just start feeling sick again. But today I'm feeling a lot better. I haven't taken a lot of medicine either, and I'm still feeling like pretty good. So hopefully the next few days I'll be recovered and can get back into making videos again more frequently, but we'll see. So anyways, guys, appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed that episode, and I shall see you next episode. Have a good one.